Did you know that this loading screen right here in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is a direct reference and homage to an older Dragon Ball game, that older Dragon Ball game being Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3. It's this right here of the various Cybermen, and also Xenoverse 2 and the Budokai series have the same developer, that being Dimps. So I think it's fairly obvious that this is a direct reference, a bit of a callback to an older Dragon Ball console game back on the PlayStation 2, and I guess the PS3 as well if you had the HD collection. But yeah, one of the many loading screen minigames in Budokai 3 was the faster you could hit the input, the more Cybermen that would appear. As a reference, it's this right here. Custom Future Gohan, for some strange reason, has the ability to use the father-son Kamehameha ultimate attack. Of course, this is an ultimate that is, well, was before this exclusive to specifically preset 2 of Teen Gohan, you know, the preset where it's fighting against Cell. But for some reason, they made this available for custom Future Gohan, but not for custom adult Gohan from the main timeline, not the History of Trunks timeline. Now, granted, yes, there is a cutscene in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 as part of, I believe, Legendary Pack 1, where it's Super Saiyan Future Gohan with Super Saiyan Blue Goku using the father-son Kamehameha to destroy, or rather to defeat, the like the load of Xenoverse. So that makes sense, but I believe this was added in at least a year, or at least a couple of years before that cutscene. Just a little bit strange, however, how it's only available for custom Future Gohan, but not custom adult Gohan from the main timeline. If you use the inputs that are on the screen right now to use this combo on Vados, while you're using Vados as a playable character, her basic combo will extend. I absolutely love this. It's very trolly, it's fun, it's great. However, I don't believe they actually tell you that you can actually do this. So whoever first discovered this, absolutely fair play. I do wonder if there's any other combos that can be extended or changed or what have you that they don't actually tell you about in Xenoverse 2. If there are, like the Vados one you can see right here, if there are, please do let me know in the comments of this video. Funnily enough, they added custom beast characters, custom characters that could use the Beast Awoken skill several months before Gohan Beast himself. What does it feel like Gohan Beast always gets shafted in Dragon Ball games? He's probably, he is DLC for the upcoming Sparking Zero, or if this video is used later on, he's already Sparking in Sparking Zero. In Dokkan Battle, he wasn't playable for months, and again, in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, it's so bad. Like, custom characters, you couldn't literally make a level 1 character and give him the Beast Awoken months, literally months before the original Beast character was added of Gohan Beast. In case you don't know, I mean, it's on the screen right now, it's the form Gohan uses towards the end of the Dragon Ball superhero movie against Cell Max. But our custom characters could do it before him. There are quite a lot of unused voice lines in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. One of these is of VEGITO turning Super Saiyan 2. Take a listen.
Guess I'm Super VEGITO 2 now!
Super VEGITO 2ってとこか。
Guess I'm Super VEGITO 2 now!
Super VEGITO 2ってとこか。
The name of the voice actor you can see on the screen right now, whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce just in case I butcher his name, I do apologize in advance, is actually voice 7 for male custom characters in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. He's also the voice actor for Ghibli in Dragon Ball Legends. Please, oh please, oh please, it's about time now. Enough time has passed. Can we please get a Dragon Ball Legends themed DLC pack in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2? Base form and Super Saiyan God Ghibli, base form Shallot, Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 Shallot, Shallot Blue, Super Saiyan God Shallot, what's the fusion name? Shallot? Whatever it's called. Please, enough time has passed. We need these in a future DLC update for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Let me know if you agree with that in the comments of this video. Without any shadow of a doubt, the absolute rarest item as of right now in all of Xenoverse is, funnily enough, I can't even say how funny it is, it's the Tiencha Wig, the What If fusion from, I believe, Budokai 3 or 2, I forget which one off the top of my head, of the What If fusion between Yamcha and Tien. This has only ever been available just once. Yes, as of right now, there are 2 artworks that have never been given out, so that makes them unobtainable. But in terms of the rarest legitimate outfit, or rather item you can get, it is the Tiencha accessory wig. I would assume at some point in the future they will make this available at least once more. Yes, you've got the Dragon Ball Z Paragus outfit, but that's been available at least twice, maybe even 3 times, as well as the Tapion outfits, which are now being available at least in raids. But at least as of right now, the Tiencha Wig, of everything else in the game, a completely pointless item with no stat increases or anything like that because it's an accessory, is the absolute rarest item in all of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Why the Tiencha Wig, dude? Preset 2 of Uub, which is an Ultra Pack 2 character in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, 3 lots of 2 there, rather nice, has Energy Charge, and it's a preset that resembles Uub from the end of Dragon Ball Z with the moveset and the clothing and all that good stuff. But did you know that his Energy Charge will charge slightly faster than the normal Energy Charge Super, and if you double tap it when you use it, it'll charge even faster, making it somewhat, to some extent, a bit of a mix between Energy Charge, Full Power Charge, and to some extent, Burst Charge. They updated the photo mode in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 to remove some, it may even be all, I'm not entirely sure, but to remove some female characters entirely to make them disappear if you zoom in on them too much. Now, I can only imagine the reason why they did this, and if you're someone who was weird enough to do this and it's now ruined it for the rest of us, honestly, all I have to say is shame on you. Did you know that Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 may have been leaked years before the eventual reveal? It's been found out that Bandai have registered several websites on the exact same day back in 2014. These websites being DragonBallXenoverse.com, Xenoverse2.com, DragonBallXenoverse2.com, then DragonBallXenoverse3.com, and Xenoverse3.com. The 2 latter currently, as of right now, have the information redacted, but we know it's Bandai who's registered them because all 5 of those websites were registered on the exact same day back in 2014. Now, Xenoverse4 or 5.com, as far as I'm aware, they've not been registered. It's not a surprise that at some point Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 will happen. Again, when? No idea as of this recording. But Xenoverse.com was registered in, I think, the early 2000s or the late 90s by someone. It's a completely separate thing. That's why Bandai haven't registered them. But given that the information on Xenoverse3.com and Dragon Ball Xenoverse3.com are redacted, and given that those registered on literally the exact same day back in 2014, kind of hints towards that at some point, again, rather unsurprisingly enough, we most likely will get a 3rd Xenoverse game, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Super Saiyan Rage Trunks is in the game as a character that actually moves around. This is in the Zamasu or the Goku Black Story Mode DLC, which I believe was DLC number 4, the DB Super Pack 4. And as you can see here, Super Saiyan Rage Future Trunks is a character, but for whatever reason, in Dims's infinite wisdom, I guess, or rather Bandai, I guess, they just didn't make him a playable character. Will this change in the future? Again, probably not, but we will have to just wait and see. You can actually start Xenoverse 2 through Dragon Ball The Breakers and vice versa, which is a bit weird, and I also believe you can purchase either game through the other game if you don't have either of them, which is a bit weird in a weird way. Weird, because That, and only about, what, just over a month before Breakers came out, which had this option available, they made it so, once again, Xenoverse 2 is free on PlayStation in certain PlayStation Plus categories or tiers if you have either PlayStation Plus Extra or PlayStation Plus Premium. It's almost as if them trying to give Xenoverse 2 one final push to get a bigger install base for maybe something that could happen in the near future. There's a feature in Xenoverse 2 that you may have forgotten about, and that is the Conton City radio. And the reason why you may have forgotten about it is because there's only 3, I guess, like broadcasts or what have you that, well, not a broadcast, like it only plays 3 times and each time is a different broadcast. I think 2 of them are of Kale and Cauliflower, and they talk about Super Saiyan Pink, not Rose, Super Saiyan Pink or something like that. And the other one is of Super Baby Vegeta 2. This was added in DLC 7, also known as Extra Pack 3, but it only plays once per avatar, per character, CAC, again, whatever you want to call it, once you enter and exit or reload Conton City. You can't even talk to, is it Garrett, the robot, by the time-space delivery, like that thing there to play it. So why this was added is a complete mystery, because it only plays once per character and you'll never hear it on that character, at least as of right now, ever again. It's why? Just why? There are several tiers of Hercule Badges in Xenoverse 2. The main reason for these are just to sell to get a lot of Zenny in return. You can also, if you want, use these as mixing items when you mix them to make a QQ bang. But honestly, for the most part, well, not even for the most part, there are several better mixing items you can use to make a QQ bang rather than using the Hercule Badges. Going back to an earlier fact in this video, if you have all 7 Dragon Balls that make a brand new character or talk to this character here in Conton City after defeating Raditz, instead of getting another Dragon Ball, you'll get a Hercule Badge. But again, that's only if you have all 7 Dragon Balls. If you go all the way to the ceiling when you're battling against a great ape, for example, in the, well, at the end of the Saiyan Saga story mode, they won't be able to hit you at all. The Hakai ultimate attack, also officially known as in Xenoverse 2, the destructive fission ultimate attack, was severely nerfed in the Legendary Pack 2 update, the free update rather, that balanced out skills, the patch updates and stuff like that. It got nerfed to the point where, as of right now at least, the way that Hakai works is if you take any damage at all, either it be from like a basic key blast or even a stone thrown by Jacko or have you, if you've launched the Hakai and receive any damage, regardless of how small it may be, it will disintegrate the Hakai. Whereas before, the way it worked is that it would only disintegrate if you had your stamina broken, or rather if you waited long enough and the Hakai didn't hit your opponent or if you didn't activate it. Thanks, Bandai. If you talk to this robot here, you can get information on past updates that were added to Xenoverse 2. There's 2 different versions of the Darkness Rush ultimate attack in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. The melee version, which only Saiyans, Earthlings, the Martian race, as well as the Freeze race can use, and the ranged version, which is only usable by Namekian CACs, custom characters, avatars, again, whatever you want to call it. But funnily enough, if you use the dual Darkness Rush on a Namekian custom character, they use the melee version, not the range version, even though, as of right now, Namekians cannot use or even equip the melee version of Darkness Rush, only the ranged version. And side note, or a bit of an extra fact here, even though Martians have stretchy arms like Namekians, they can also only use the melee version of Darkness Rush, not the ranged version. In the early days of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, if you used the Super Key Explosion ultimate attack specifically on the Hyperbolic Time Chamber stage inside the Time Chamber, it used to hard crash the game. I don't know if this happened on Xbox or PC. It happened on a PS4 version. I may have covered it in a video from back then, but this was patched out a very, very, very long time ago. I think it was even patched out before they even announced Xenoverse 2 being released on the Switch version. But yeah, it just used to crash the game, which, I mean, it's not that interesting. Well, I think it's interesting because it's a piece of Xenoverse 2 history. I mean, you can see in this clip here, I tried to do it for the purposes of this video, but no, it was patched out a very long time ago. There's various Super Souls in Xenoverse 2 that belong to characters or different forms of characters that aren't currently in the game or even in the Xenoverse series as of right now. These include Super Namekian, or rather the giant version of Piccolo from the original Dragon Ball, as well as characters such as Android 19 and Dr. Jello. You can instantly revive a fallen teammate by using something that's known as a flash revive. Do keep in mind though that although this will instantly revive them, it does take away a pretty decent amount of your health. Base form Vegeta is significantly more stronger than Super Villainous Mode Janemba. Let me explain, as you can see right here. Vegeta in his base form defeats a powered up Janemba. Again, Vegeta's in his base form just by using a final flash. This doesn't matter, and I'm only mentioning this because this is somewhat of an inside joke or a running joke on my channel when I do my Xenoverse 2 challenge videos. It doesn't matter, it's not serious, it's dumb, I love it. But given that it took Goku and Vegeta to not only fuse to make Gogeta, but for it to be Super Saiyan Gogeta to defeat a weaker version of Janemba, given that Vegeta in a weaker form can one-shot a stronger version of that character, makes no sense. I mean, could you at least have made him Super Saiyan 1 or Super Saiyan 2, maybe? The presumably placeholder music for the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 network test title menu resembles One Leaf Clover by Metallica, a great song. Now, for obvious reasons, I can't play the Metallica version, but it's exactly the same. And it's that guy who, I forget his name off the top of my head, who got in a lot of trouble for plagiarizing music from older Dragon Ball games. This may actually be the last time one of his songs or tracks was used in a Dragon Ball game. Legitimately, I think it probably was the last, because when Raging Blast 2 came out, that's when it all kicked off. Then a few years later, we had Xenoverse 1, and here the Xenoverse 1 network test music. Take a listen to it, and then compare it to Metallica's One Leaf Clover. Take a listen.